Now on CoastTV News.
A mobile home fire in Georgetown hospitalizes 2 people. Details from the state fire marshal about the investigation. And slam dunk to the beach, why the beloved Sussex County tradition is taking a hiatus. And Washington, D.C.'s treasure has officially reached peak bloom.
Another pleasant evening here along the coast, but much cooler weather is on the way for the week ahead. Details coming up in just a few moments.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Elisa Weber, and thank you for joining us for CoastTV News at 11. As we take a live look into Salisbury, our first alert meteorologist Alex Seymour joins us. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got a pretty pleasant evening across Delmarva at this hour. But some much cooler weather is going to be moving in as we head throughout the overnight hours. A cold front starting to move through there. It's dry cold front, just going to bring some extra clouds, but it will bring that drop in temps as we head throughout the week. Right now, Boardwalk Plaza Hotel camera in Rehoboth Beach. Still pretty quiet out there this evening in Rehoboth Beach. Temps sitting right around 53 degrees, so it's quite warm out there right now. It's probably warmer right now than what we're going to be tomorrow afternoon in Rehoboth Beach, when we're likely going to see those temps hold in the upper 40s most of the day right at the beaches, where we're currently in the low to mid 50s. In the locations, we're in the mid 50s, 55 in Millsboro, 55 in Milton, 55 in Georgetown. Tomorrow, probably going to only rise to about 52 degrees inland, so it's going to be much cooler. We've already seen the passage of that cold front as signified by the fact that, well, take a look at that. Those arrows now coming out of the northwest, so those winds have turned to more out of the north, so cooler air is starting to filter in. And the clouds, they are here. They're moving through with that cold front. So as we pull out to a wider view, a lot of clouds out there associated with that cold front. The good news is, they really aren't going to stick around. Tomorrow, we are going to look at partly cloudy skies. So we will see the sunshine, but it is going to be much cooler. Fenwick Island only climbing up to about 52 degrees by noon. Pretty similar conditions in both Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, with those temps in the low 50s, upper 40s to low 50s, with those partly cloudy skies.
The Delaware State Fire Marshal is investigating a mobile home fire that happened in Georgetown yesterday. Officials say the fire was reported around 4 p.m. on Paradise Street in Georgetown. Before the fire department arrived, the fire marshal says one person was rescued from the home in cardiac arrest and later taken to the hospital in serious condition. A second person was taken from the scene for evaluation and has since been treated and released. Preliminary estimates determine damages cost about $25,000. And Milton wants to expand. According to the town, one plan is for a new building on Federal Street. It will have shops on the bottom and apartments on top, plus parking for 34 cars. Another plan is to build new office and storage buildings between Cedar Creek Road and Mulberry Street. The town will meet on Tuesday to discuss these proposals. And Milton is also formalizing how it looks at workforce housing. On Thursday, the town will hear a presentation from the Delaware State Housing Authority. The topic specifically is about affordable housing, specifically the lack of deemed, quote, a crisis. The town will listen to the authority for possible solutions for this type of housing in Milton, and that's happening at 3 p.m. And if you have old electronics or waste you need to get rid of, you can do that in Fenwick Island. The town says this event provides a free collection of household hazardous waste like chemicals and electronic recycling like old TVs and computers. If you have lots of paper to get rid of, well, you're in luck because people can bring up to 2 boxes of paper for shredding for free. Collection will last from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. And Vladimir Putin is celebrating what appears to be a huge victory. And how's this for a landslide? Putin is currently projected to win 88% of the vote, giving him 6 more years. NBC's Keir Simmons questioned Putin and shows us how across Russia there were signs of opposition.
Election night in Moscow. President Putin celebrating a landslide victory, which was never in doubt. At his campaign headquarters, NBC News, the first international news organization to question him. Journalist Evan Gershkovich spent this election in prison. Boris Nadezhdin, who opposes your war in Ukraine, wasn't allowed to stand against you. And Alexei Navalny died in one of your prisons during your campaign. Mr. President, is this what you call democracy?
Это жизнь.
Ignoring Gershkovich, Putin said Nadezhdin was unpopular and Navalny died. That's life, he said. Putin did say that days before Navalny's death, he agreed to exchange him on condition he never returned. Deceased opposition leader Alexei Navalny, before his death last month, had called for protests at polling stations. These lines of many young people looked like the response. Among the 75 people detained was a man wearing a Navalny T-shirt. Others threw Molotov cocktails or poured dye into ballot boxes. Navalny's widow, Yulia, joining a protest in Berlin.
There could be no any negotiations and nothing with Mr. Putin because he is a killer, he is a gangster.
Another opponent, Boris Nadezhdin, who spoke out against the war, wasn't allowed to stand. He voted today with his family, a stark contrast to Putin, who voted alone on a computer Friday.
Of course, our election is not very fair, not very free, of course. Sometimes we will have normal, democratic, free and fair election in Russian Federation.
You believe that one day?
I believe not, of course, on this day.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Washington, D.C.'s Shaw neighborhood. Officials says the shooting happened this morning around 3 a.m. near the Kennedy Recreation Center. A total of 7 people were found shot, leaving 2 dead. The other 5 people were transported to hospitals with injuries. Police are currently looking for the suspect. And happening now, Denrick is seeking comments for few wetland and waterway permit applications across Sussex County. The department are considering these applications. One is to modify an existing dock at South Bayshore Drive in Milton. Another application wants to build a dock in Fenwick Island. Ocean View Land Development asked Denrick to dredge a lagoon at Sandy Cove Marina and Town Homes. And the city of Rehoboth wants to install a living shoreline at Silver Lake. All public comments for these applications are due on Tuesday. And happening this week in Maryland, Operation Clean Sweep is taking off. MDOT says this week crews will litter removal equipment like you see on your screen, will be collecting trash and other debris alongside state highways. Drivers are urged to slow down, pay attention, and move over to help protect crews as they pick up litter. They've arrived. The cherry blossoms have reached peak bloom in Washington, D.C. The National Park Service made that announcement today. Peak bloom is when 70% of the Yoshino cherry trees that line the National Mall and the Tidal Basin are open. They typically bloom for several days. This is the second earliest peak bloom on record, tying a similar mark set in 2000. The earliest bloom happened on March 15, 1990. Warmer temperatures helped trigger the early bloom. And the beloved Slam Dunk to the Beach tournament will not be running this year. The commission says it competes with other tournaments in the country for the top talent, and it's tough competition as high school teams are only allowed to play a certain number of games in season. So it was proving to be expensive, even though the commission is financially okay. The hiatus is a bummer to local businesses as well.
Like I said, it brings in tons of people when you don't have them. Like the summer, you have all the tourists, and that's kind of like a smaller type of thing, but like it brings in people that you wouldn't necessarily have, and now we're probably going to see a hit.
Organizers say they wanted to pause while the tournament was still operating at a high level rather than lowering standards. They hope to be back in the future, but do not have a target date.
A much cooler week on the way to the coast as spring begins. I'll let you know just how cool it will get coming up just after the break.
Welcome to Outlet Liquors on Route 1 in Rehoboth, the 3rd largest liquor store in America. Choose from 9,000 different wines, 600 beers, and the largest selection of vodka, whiskey, and tequila. We've got professional wine and spirit experts to help you find what you're looking for. Plenty of cheeses, crackers, and chocolate for the perfect charcuterie board. Don't forget to sign up for the VIP program. Visit Outlet Liquors in Rehoboth today.
The world's #1 selling farm tractor. Easy to operate and more powerful than your average tractor. Mahindra tractors. Push more, pull more, lift more. With more torque and lower engine maintenance, Mahindra tractors are rugged and tough. We know how much you love your land, so we want you to love your tractor. Get your next Mahindra tractor today. Southern States of Milford, improving farming and improving life. Rooted since 1948.
Hopefully you're able to get outside and enjoy some of the fantastic weather that we saw throughout the weekend. Temperatures today climbed up into the mid to upper 60s in many locations. Some areas closed in on 70 degrees. Unfortunately, we're not going to get temperatures near that mark at least for another week here along the coast. Some much cooler weather moving in for this week. Right now, as I take a live look out on our Boardwalk Plaza Hotel camera in Rehoboth Beach, temperatures, they're slow to cool off this evening, but by the morning hour, it's going to be close to 40 degrees. Right now, though, still sitting right around 53 degrees as I take a live look out there into Rehoboth Beach, where it's pretty quiet out there this evening. Temps all across the region, they're in the low to mid 50s. 54 degrees in Bethany Beach currently. It's 55 in Ocean Pines, 55 in Millsboro, 55 in Milton, 55 degrees currently in Georgetown. Those winds, well, they have turned more out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That northerly wind starting to usher in that cooler air that we're expecting over the upcoming week. Along with those northerly winds, we're seeing some clouds move through the area. All of that associated with a cold front that's sliding through the area. We can see that cold front really just marked right across Delmarva, and then a secondary cold front really going to bring that push of that colder air in by the morning hours. We can see that on our in-house futurecast. There we go. As we head towards about 7 a.m. Monday morning, skies are going to be clear. We're going to see sunshine. It's going to be looking gorgeous out there, but you're going to want to grab at least a light jacket as you head out the door Monday morning as those temps fall into the low 40s. By the afternoon hours, not really going to see those temperatures climb that much. Only into the upper 40s to low 50s. It's going to be a little bit breezy out, so it's going to feel even cooler than that. The good news is it is going to be sunny, partly to mostly sunny, so the sunshine is going to feel pretty warm, even though it is going to be about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than today. We're going to continue with those cooler conditions as we head towards Tuesday. Tuesday is actually the first day of spring. Take a look at that. It's not going to feel like that as we head towards Tuesday morning. Low to mid 30s across the region with the breeze right at the coast. It's going to likely feel like the upper 20s. So you're going to want to grab those extra layers Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, some of us not going to get out of the 40s. So it's going to be a pretty chilly first day of spring here along the coast. Wednesday, we see a brief rise in those temperatures back into the mid to upper 50s, but only brief. Those temperatures overall this week are going to be below average. Our average high this time of year right around 55 degrees, going to be below average Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 48 degrees. That's the coolest day of this week. 54 on Fridays. Those temperatures start to rebound a little bit as we head into the weekend. Wednesday, 58 degrees. That's the peak of this week, 58 degrees. Today we were in the upper 60s, so the peak of this week is 10 degrees cooler than today. But even with the cooler weather, just keep in mind, we are going to see sunshine. We are going to see dry conditions. So with the sunshine, those flowers still going to be blooming. The trees still going to be blooming. So take a look at that. Trees, high pollen count expected as we head towards tomorrow. So allergy sufferers, unfortunately, you're going to be dealing with those allergies all week long, even with the extra cooler weather that's moving into the area. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 7-day forecast. 52 degrees, partly to mostly sunny skies on Monday. Pretty similar conditions on Tuesday, 50 degrees. Morning lows down about 32 degrees as we head towards Tuesday morning. 58 on Wednesday, upper 40s on Thursday, and then next weekend, next chance of wet weather arrives on Saturday.
If you're boating in Ocean City, slow down. Right whales were detected east of Ocean City. The 10-knot slow zone is now in effect until March 29th. And the Maryland Fisheries Information Exchange will offer a chance for commercial and recreational anglers to meet with different agencies to ask questions about regulations, permits, fishery and management plans, and more. This session will take place at the Ocean City Marlin Club on a Friday beginning at 1:30 p.m. And authorities in upstate New York have taken an 11-foot alligator from a man's home after determining he was keeping the reptile illegally. This is Albert. He weighs 750 pounds. The pet's owner says Albert is like family to him. He had a license to own the 30-year-old alligator, but it expired in 2021. And the Department of Environmental Conservation turned down the request to renew it. Police say the owner built a swimming pool for Albert to swim in, and he allegedly allowed people to go into the water and pet the alligator. Authorities say the alligator has serious health problems, and they say a licensed caretaker will look after Albert for now until they can find a permanent solution. And we have all things health, wealth, and lifestyle on Coast Life right before your evening news on Coast TV at 5. Here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow.
Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. Here's what's happening Monday at 4 on Coast Life.
Because it's Monday, we've got some laughs for you with our joke jar. We're testing out our Gen Z slang knowledge.
And we think Delaware State Police are very sexy, but apparently the rest of the country doesn't. We disagree. We're going to talk to Delaware State Police about how they feel about that.
And we're getting a taste of some Ramadan recipes. We're celebrating with one of our own.
All of that and more happening Monday at 4 on Coast Life.
Coming up, colorectal cancer in the United States is on the rise for people under 50. The important signs to look for.
You probably wouldn't know David Trone grew up on a struggling farm, cleaning hog pens and trudging to an outhouse in winter, till the farm was lost to the bank and David started a business to support his family. Then again, when you see all the bills David's passed to help struggling working families, maybe you would. David will keep fighting to give everyone a fair shake, refusing to take a nickel from PACs and lobbyists who wield such an unfair influence. Unlike most politicians, David only answers to you.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Pulling up to a great-looking home is nice. Curb appeal is important. But here on the coast, even more important is dock appeal. At T&G Builders, if you can dream it, we can create it. For uncompromising quality, contact T&G Builders to design and build your coastal dream home. Over 30 years of integrity, empathy, and love. T&G Builders, the sign of quality. Visit us online at tg-builders.com.
This is like our forever home. This was the last piece of the puzzle. Pinnacle concrete coating actually showed me this particular floor here, which is tidal wave. I was told, I'm done, I'm good, just let's start. When it was done, I probably sat out there for 20 minutes and just staring at the product before I went back into the house. This is not a garage, this is an extension of my home. I'm just thrilled to death with this floor. We get a discount for being a veteran. It made you real warm and fuzzy knowing that you're dealing with somebody like that. You know, I'm just impressed with what they did, it was awesome.
At Delmarva Canine, a trained dog is a happy dog, and that means a happier home. With 25 years of experience training police dogs, service dogs, and pets, we've gained the trust of families across the country. Our team of certified trainers create custom programs ensuring we can show you a more confident and polite side of your pet, regardless of the breed or temperament. Call today and schedule your free evaluation to see why Delmarva Canine is all about the love of the dog.
In your health news tonight, new cases of colorectal cancer in people under the age of 50 have been rising in the U.S. over the past several decades. And no one knows exactly why. But CNN's Mandy Gaither has more on what the wife of late actor Chadwick Boseman is now advocating for and shares the 4 signs most commonly seen in young people who are diagnosed with this disease.
27,400 blue flags planted on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., representing the number of people under the age of 50 who are projected to be diagnosed with colorectal cancer in 2030.
It makes me angry that a disease so treatable took him from me when all we needed to start out with was knowledge.
Actor Chadwick Boseman died of colon cancer in 2020 at the age of 43. His wife, Simone Ledward Boseman, joined other advocates to rally for more research, treatment options, and funding to battle this disease.
It makes me angry that colorectal cancer diagnoses had been rising so dramatically in young people, and young black people in particular, for 15 years before he was diagnosed, and we still knew nothing about it. It makes me angry that we don't talk about colorectal cancer the way that we talk about other cancers and other chronic diseases. And it makes me angry that we still have no idea why it's happening.
While the cause of the alarming rise of colorectal cancer in young adults is still unknown, researchers say the 4 most common warning signs in early onset cases of the disease are diarrhea, rectal bleeding, abdominal pain, and iron deficiency anemia. Doctors hope awareness of these symptoms will encourage those who may have them to seek medical care so the disease can be caught earlier when it's more treatable.
Turning pain into purpose is great, but we deserve more.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Celine Dion is speaking out about her current medical condition. The singer revealed in 2022 she is battling stiff person syndrome. It's a rare neurological condition that triggers spasms in rigid muscles. Last Friday marked Stiff Person Syndrome Awareness Day, and Dion posted a message on Instagram about her personal fight. She said battling the condition has, quote, been one of the hardest experiences of my life. She said she is determined to one day get back on stage and live as normal of a life as possible. And polar bear plunge, ice baths, cold showers, cold water therapy for health and fitness benefits has exploded in popularity. But how safe and effective is it for most people? A scientific review found the quality of the research was inadequate to support most claims of effectiveness. Some research did hint at promising anti-inflammatory effects from the combination of cold water immersion and breathing, but researchers say a higher quality study is needed to verify that. And anyone wanting to try cold water therapy at home should do so carefully and only after a thorough medical checkup. And about 26,000 people took part in today's 39th Los Angeles Marathon. It's the second largest number of participants in the event's history. Kenyans dominated the field, taking 2 of the top spots in the men's races and first place in the women's race. Officials say one person required life-threatening medical care, but there is no word on that person's condition. And after the break here on Coast TV News, Hollywood is making efforts to increase gun safety on set.
Turn your vision into a reality with Capstone Homes Design Center, bringing personalization, luxury, and quality all into one location, where you'll meet with our certified design consultant that'll show you exactly what you're choosing, so you can make the best choice for you when designing your new home. From first home to vacation houses, we build and design homes for everyone. Set up your appointment now and design your dream home today at Capstone Homes.
Helping people is why I became an attorney. I'm Kelly Geloff of the Law Offices of Tunnell & Razor, and I handle personal injury cases. When I meet with clients, they're usually in pain due to their injuries and overwhelmed by their situation. They come to me because they need someone to help. As your attorney, I will strive to have you feel less stressed and be the voice you need to get you the compensation you deserve. And you'll have me and my entire staff to help you through the legal process. Trust us to be your voice.
Bright yellow dandelions, a clear signal that the time for prevention is now, for crabgrass and clover are soon to follow. Hillside Lawn Service has been making lawns around the Chesapeake healthier and weed-free for over 30 years. They don't mow it, they grow it. Hillside certified agronomists test your soil, apply exactly what it needs and nothing it doesn't. Their high-efficiency formulas help protect our waterways. Switch to Hillside now and get $25 off their annual maintenance program. Call Hillside Lawn Service for your free assessment.
Taylor Oil Company leads a family of services offering energy solutions to Delmarva since 1927. We serve all customers with our own qualified staff of seasoned professionals, allowing us to manage all aspects of each and every call. The Taylor Oil family of services, one number for all your energy needs. Call 410-749-2151 to speak to one of our qualified employees. Taylor Oil Company, day or night, our service never sleeps.
Hey Dawn, did you ever get the wind damages on your roof repaired?
I did. I called Morse Roofing and Siding. The owners were prior insurance adjusters and they guided us through the entire insurance process.
That is great news.
They didn't just repair it. Morse Roofing and Siding replaced my entire roof with very little out-of-pocket money from us. We saved thousands.
Give me their number so I can have them look at my roof.
For your complimentary roof inspection, give Morse Roofing and Siding a call at 302-663-0042 or visit them on the web.
There is a new push in Hollywood to promote gun safety. CNN's Josh Campbell explains why this is and why producers are now working with a gun safety advocacy group.
LAPD, drop the weapon!
Gunfire, danger, high energy. It's another episode of the hit CBS show SWAT.
Hey, baby.
But something in this scene is different. Can you tell?
Your day get any better after I saw you?
No, actually, it got worse, if you can believe it, but we did save a mother and her child, so it made it all worth it. How'd the rest of your day go?
Did you spot it? Look again.
Mother and her child, so it made it all worth it.
Safe gun storage. On that same Sony Pictures set, SWAT showrunner Andrew Detman says in the past, the officer may have just set his gun on the counter. But now,
gun safe opens, he puts the gun away. It's nice and safe before he heads back to talk to his wife. You know, it's a very routine part of his life. Come home at the end of the day, store your weapon so that it's safe now that he's got a toddler in the house.
That's a game changer.
The new approach is one of the successes of the Show Gun Safety campaign launched by advocacy group Brady United, which is now partnering with studios across the country. After first meeting at a White House roundtable with actors and writers last year, their initiative calls for no guns on kids' shows, rethinking whether guns are needed in adult shows, and if they are, showing proper storage and handling.
We lose 8 kids a day, a uniquely American epidemic, to family fire. That's because of firearms in the home that are not safely stored.
While guns can be politically polarizing, this show believes encouraging the safe storage of firearms shouldn't be controversial at all.
This is not part of that larger gun debate. You know, our audience is very much on both sides of that issue. This, to me, I hoped anyway, seemed like this is just a common sense issue, right? Stow it safely, don't leave it out in the house, you know, and if they see their favorite characters doing it on a regular basis, maybe that influences them some way.
Okay, settle, here we go, quiet please.
Inside another soundstage, we watch as the SWAT crew film scenes with star Shamar Moore. We've heard statistics that more people look up to their favorite actor than a lot of politicians.
Well,
What's that like?
I'm not Taylor Swift, but she doesn't carry a gun,
as
far as I know.
You're not in Congress. Moore told us he's a gun owner too. And with a young daughter both on and off screen, modeling safety is a badge he's willing to wear.
Big badass Hondo, and I get out there and, I take down bad guys, but when I come home, I own a firearm, but it's safe, it's protected. If I can use my platform to affect change or affect optimism or to get people to listen, that's an honor. I'm humbled by it.
Along with safe storage, SWAT is also curbing the amount of gunfire on its show.
The director had an automatic weapon in mind, but maybe we can pull that back and just have it be a few shots so that we don't have all this gratuitous gunfire with no consequence.
We got to start normalizing this across the board.
Gun violence victims like Christian Heine, who lost his mother in a 2005 shooting in California, praised the efforts of shows like SWAT. Now a chief policy officer for Brady United, he hopes this new campaign succeeds, like past partnerships with Hollywood to deglamorize smoking and promote safe driving.
You never will see somebody get into a car on a film or on television and not put a seatbelt on. We have to be thinking the same way about gun violence to really create a movement in Hollywood where this becomes second nature.
People are going to watch me and listen to me, and I know that by behavior, by how I present myself, somebody could follow suit. That's a huge responsibility. And so hopefully, this is a reminder to the adults, to the parents, to be extra cautious.
Cut!
Josh Campbell, CNN, Hollywood.
There is still a chance to play for the Powerball jackpot. Last night's drawing saw no ticket match the winning numbers of 2, 23, 44, 57, 61, and a red Powerball of 5. There were 3 match 5 winners who won $1 million each in Michigan, New Jersey, and South Carolina. The estimated jackpot now grows to $645 million, with an estimated cash value of $307.3 million. The next drawing will take place tomorrow. And take a look at this. A volcano has erupted in Iceland for the 4th time since December. Aerial video shows bright orange lava spewing into the air along a long, narrow opening in the earth along Iceland's southwest coast. The lava is flowing towards the nearby fishing town of where about 4,000 people live. Officials say people there are being evacuated.
A much cooler week is on the way to the coast. I'll have a final check on your first look weather forecast coming up just after the break.
Treat yourself to a culinary journey like no other at Benvenuto. Delaware Today named Benvenuto as a 2023 Best of Delaware Dining and Event Restaurant, where the perfect fusion of comfort, exquisite flavors, and a captivating atmosphere awaits you. Our passion for exceptional cuisine shines through every dish as we artfully combine international flavors and fresh, locally sourced ingredients. With stunning spaces and a private room for special occasions, our breathtaking Tuscan design sets the stage for an unforgettable dining experience. Benvenuto Restaurant in Milford.
When I decided to have my kitchen done, I knew I wanted it done professionally, and that's when I contacted Ellen. She took me to the Delmarva Design Center.
From the moment I bring a customer into Delmarva Design Center, the ideas start to flow. First thing we do is take a stroll around the showroom so we can look at all the different vignettes to get ideas of what they like and see what they react to.
For each of the different aspects that I wanted to change in my kitchen, there were experts here, and everyone was so helpful. They listened to what I had to say, and they had great ideas that helped me put together exactly what I wanted for my kitchen.
My goal is to have the customer enjoy their space as quickly as possible, and Delmarva Design Center helps me do that.
My kitchen is one of my favorite places now. It's something that I use every single day of my life. I'm elated with my experience at the Delmarva Design Center.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Hey everyone, Sam here from Coastal Home Roofing and Siding. I'm really bad at commercials, but we're really good at this. Coastal Home Roofing and Siding is your source for expert exterior remodeling. From siding and windows to decks, porches, and more, with free estimates, no money down, and lifetime warranties available. As a licensed insurance agent, I can help with your claims and do quality work to stand the test of time. For all your exterior needs, call Coastal Home Roofing and Siding. I gotta go. Cut.
Look around, Delmarva. Have you noticed what everyone has been upgrading their homes with? That's right, our aluminum shingles. Whether on the farm or on the water, our metal shingles are made to withstand the dynamic weather patterns here on the shore. Our aluminum shingles have been tested for winds up to 200 miles per hour, can save you up to 40% on energy bills, and we guarantee them for life. Find out why hundreds of homeowners on Delmarva are making the switch. Call Delmarva Metal Roofing today.
Yesterday, the 34th annual beach grass planting event took place north of the Indian River Inlet Bridge. Volunteers could be seen working hard to plant important beach grass on the dunes. And Denmark says beach grass helps to build and stabilize sand dunes.
Well, those volunteers certainly were able to enjoy some pretty fantastic weather yesterday while planting that beach grass, and really all weekend long we enjoyed some great conditions. Temps climbed into the 60s, even close to 70 degrees the last couple of days. Unfortunately, that's coming to an end. We're seeing some much cooler air start to work into the region. Right now, though, still quite warm as we take a live look out on our Tidal Health Peninsula regional camera in Salisbury. Still pretty quiet out there this evening. Temps sitting right around 58 degrees, but the winds, they have picked up. Now 16 mile per hour sustained winds in Salisbury coming out of the north. So what's that's showing is that the cold front is passing through the region. We're going to start to see that much cooler air start to move into the area. Hey, if you want a forecast for the next few days with that cooler air moving in and the first day of spring, it's going to be pretty chilly. You can call our CoastTV First Alert weather phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast, just a phone call away. That's sponsored by Baird, Mandalis, Brockstedt, and Federico. What we're looking at over the next few hours is that much cooler air starting to push into the region. We're in the 50s right now, but by the time we head towards those morning hours, take a look at that. Those temps going to be down to about 42 degrees. So as you're heading out Monday morning for that morning commute, you're going to want to grab that light jacket. You've probably not had it out too much of the last few days, and really much of the last week. We were close to 80 degrees just about 4 or 5 days ago. That's gone. We're not going to see that probably for another 10, 11 days here along the coast. The 60s, we're still a good 9 to 10 days away from. So day part forecast for tomorrow starts out in the 40s. It does eventually climb up to close to about 50 degrees. Our shopping forecast for tomorrow, 50 degrees by about 2 to 4 p.m. That's the time frame of the warmest temperatures of the day. It's going to be a little bit breezy, though, so it's going to feel a little bit cooler. Take a look at that. Those winds out of the west-northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. 10 to 15 mile per hour winds on top of those temps near 50. It's likely going to feel like about 44, 45 degrees. So you're going to probably want at least a sweater, at least a long sleeve shirt tomorrow. It's going to stay on the cooler side for a while. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 10-day forecast. 50 degrees for the first day of spring on Tuesday. Some of us not even getting out of the 40s. Morning lows down about 32 degrees. Probably want those extra layers on Tuesday morning. Up to 58 on Wednesday. So a brief bump up in those temperatures before we're back down in the 40s. And then mid-50s by Saturday with some wet weather on the way. And then take a look at that as we head towards next week. Temperatures start to climb back into the 60s.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. We'll see you in just a few hours for Coast TV News today, starting at 5 a.m. Have a great night.